reason why you feel like you literally repel women is because you do all of these non-masculine habits. So in this video, I'm going to break down all of the things that you're doing, which are non-masculine, that's literally changing your whole aura, your whole energy, and it's changing your mindset around dating, which is making women want to stay away from you. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you're doing that's destroying your aura, your whole mindset around dating women is you're complaining about female nature. I speak to a lot of guys every single day. Guys hit up my DM asking for dating advice. And it's like a lot of you guys just want to complain. Sure, female nature is female nature. Are women hypergamous? Do they want a guy that looks good? Do most of them want a guy who's taller? Yes, they do. Do they want a guy who makes more money? Yes, they do. Do they always look for the best option? Yes, they do. What are you going to do about it? You can't change a woman. Once you can accept that, your life will be so much easier. But a lot of guys, they stay in this red pill rage mode their entire lives. Their entire lives. They watch content creators. I'm not gonna say no names, but you guys know these podcasts, these content creators who base off their entire content around hating on women, trying to put women down, trying to make women feel inferior to men. When in reality, that's just causing you to have this incel mindset. None of these guys who actually watch these podcasts every single day are actually out here dating women, attractive women, right? All of these guys are incels. I'm telling you right now. They're in my DMs asking me for advice. And I'm here to tell you that, listen, trying to put women down, trying to make it seem like women are inferior to men is not going to help you out, right? Women have their role in society and men have their role in society. Yes, we are very different, but we're supposed to complement each other, right? The feminine energy is supposed to complement the masculine energy, but you will never truly be in your masculine energy if you stay complaining about female nature. If you complain, you stay the same. You can't change them. You can't change the way they're hardwired. All you can do is accept it and focus on what you can control. So instead of complaining about female nature, how about you just become attractive? Because when you become attractive, then you become the guy that women want. And attractive isn't just looks. Looks is just one pillar of attraction. Attraction is also your habits. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you speak. It's the way you walk. All of these things are what make you actually attractive to women. And that's the best part about it. If you're not so blessed on the look side, if you're not so blessed with your height, you can work on other areas of your life as a man and improve them to actually become the guy that women want. So instead of complaining about female nature and staying in incel, how about you take that time and energy and focus it on improving yourself and becoming the man that women want? Number two, settling for a relationship. I can't tell you guys how many times I speak to guys who are like obsessed with being in a relationship. They think that it's some sort of major accomplishment. When I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro, being in a relationship with a woman that doesn't respect you, a woman that you're not even attracted to, is not masculine. It's not an accomplishment. Because while you're out here settling, settling for the first woman that gave you some validation, some attention, you're out here, you know that you're not actually even attracted to this woman. You're out here beating your shit to women that look better than your girl. So make it make sense. Oh, congratulations, buddy, you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship, but you're still basically cheating on your girl because you're out here watching porn. So make it make sense. Instead of settling for a relationship with the first woman that you're not even attracted to, that just gives you a little bit of validation, a little bit of attention, how about you just start vetting women? You start vetting them, right? You put them through a process because every single high value man needs to understand his own worth, right? A lot of you guys that I speak to, you've achieved something in your career, you've achieved good finances, or maybe you look good, or maybe a combination, and yet you're still out here putting these women on a pedestal, trying to make it seem like they're something better than you. And that's why you settle for a relationship. But if you truly understood your own value and what you bring to the table, then you would put them through a vetting process. Why should I let you into my life? If you were hiring for a job, right? Let's say you're a boss and you're hiring for an employee, you're going to screen them out, right? You're going to screen out everyone who applies for the position. You're not just going to take the first person that wants to apply for the job, are you? And if you do, what does that say about your company? What does that say about the job? It's probably not that high value, is it? So you must be able to vet these women properly to find a woman that actually is primarily attracted to you, right? She has that genuine burning desire for you, which you can achieve through just being in great shape, taking care of your looks, and understanding what her type is, right? And if you're not her type on a primal attraction level, then she's probably not the one for you, right? Sure, you have a fun time with her, but in a relationship, you better make sure that the chick that you cuff up, that you are her type, right? Because if you're not, that's gonna leave a lot of loopholes down the line, right? Make sure that her character, her personality is something that you actually are willing to put up with. Not just put up with, but you're actually willing to be a part of for years down the line. Because what's the point of a relationship? For all my guys who want to get in relationships, I'm sure you guys want to get married. That's why you're in a relationship in the first place. Because if you don't want to get married, then you might as well just date around, sleep around, right? But you won't ever be able to find the woman that you actually want to marry, the woman that's actually valid to become the mother of your kids if you don't put them through a vetting process. So all the guys who try to hate on, oh, you're dating around, you're going on multiple dates per week, you have all these matches on dating apps, here's what I have to tell you. How do you know what a bad apple looks like if you haven't, sorry. So for all the guys that try to hate on that, but this is what I have to tell you. How do you know what a good apple looks like if you haven't never seen a bad one, right? You need to go through a lot of bad apples in order to find out what a good apple is, right? That's the same thing in the dating app, in the dating market. Fuck. And so for all the guys that try to say that, oh, dating is promiscuous, dating is not natural, you know, going out with multiple women, trying to see multiple women, it's not natural. Here's what I have to tell you. You're out here working hard, right? You need to find a woman that's part of your mission. But how are you ever going to find a good apple, someone who's actually worth it to be the mother of your children one day, if you don't know what a bad apple looks like? You have to go through enough relationships, enough dates to see, okay, these are the red flags that I have to avoid, right? Because if you don't know the red flags and you end up just covering up this girl in 1 month, in 2 months, in a couple of weeks, bro, you're setting yourself up for disaster. So make sure you put these women through a vetting process, right? This is what I help all my clients do. Some of my clients, they already have the dating apps on point, right? They're already making good money. They already got their looks on point. They got the photos on point, but they don't know how to actually vet the woman properly to get what they want out of that scenario, right? So if you're a guy who is trying to have an abundant dating life, trying to have the dating life on your terms, right? Whether that's you want to go on multiple dates a week, whether that's you're looking for a girlfriend, or ultimately you want something more serious and you want to get married. Any of those options, you need to make sure that you have an abundance of options of high quality women who are feminine, who are willing to be on your program. So if you want some personal help with this, just shoot me a DM on Instagram, right? Shoot me a DM on Instagram. It's at OVO Maxim. The link will be in the description. And just tell me a little bit about your situation. I answer all my DMs. That's how all my clients book through me. You could click the link in the bio, in the description, to book a one-on-one call with me. But I much rather have you reach out to me on Instagram DMs first, So I can speak to you personally. I can get to know your situation a little more before we hop on a call and decide if it actually makes sense for us to work together, right? So if that interests you, if you're ready to take it to the next level, make sure to check out my Instagram, send me a DM, let me know what's up. Watching corn. All of these bad habits, all of these negative things, they fall into sync with each other. Because a lot of guys who complain about female nature are the same ones who settle for the first woman that gives them some sort of attention. And then, because they did so, because they got into a relationship out of scarcity, they're in relationships while still watching porn, if you know what I mean, right? They're out here every single day because they're not even physically attracted to the woman that they're with. The woman that you're beating off to literally look better than your girl. That's a problem. That's a problem. You're cheating on her, right? It doesn't make sense. And even if you're not in a relationship, why are you doing this? These women don't know you exist. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do, right? You're beating off, you're spilling your little life energy 2 pixels, right? And this will corrupt your mindset. This right here is what's gonna take your mindset into resenting women, right? And I've been there, right? I've been there where I struggled with this myself, and I've had a lot of friends, a lot of the guys that I coach who struggled with this. And it's like, once you really fall down the rabbit hole of getting into corn, it's like it brainwashes you for the negative. You start to literally look at women as objects. You don't respect them, and you start to just treat them like anything. But they're humans too, right? And the thing about women, guys, is that they have a very high EQ, right? Emotional intelligence. So when they speak to you, the way that you act, like body language wise, and the way you speak, the way you look at them, they can tell if you resent women. They can tell what are your actual feelings towards women. If you're a guy who, yeah, like you low key hate women, you low key like you think they're all useless, you think they're beneath you, all of these negative things, it will come off in your micro expressions. I'm telling you right now. In the way that you speak, in the way that you answer them, it will come off. And they will be like, yep, that guy's an incel. Yep, woman. And if they see these actions, they see these behaviors on you, they start to believe that, okay, he must act like this because women have gave him a hard time. So let me not even bother with this guy, right? Let me not even bother with him because clearly something's wrong with him. That's what you're doing by indulging in this, right? So instead of doing this, how about you start actually approaching the woman? I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not here to tell you guys to hold back your masculine energy. If you're in the gym, you're working hard, you're eating clean, your testosterone is high, right? Especially when you get onto the diets that I put you guys onto, the workouts that I put you guys onto in my fitness guides, you're gonna notice that you have a lot more drive, you have a lot more libido, you have a lot more masculine energy. So I'm not telling you to just throw it away, but I'm not telling you to put it towards this either. You have to put it towards, you have to put it towards, you have to put it towards initiating with a woman naturally, the way that God and nature intended you to do, which is approaching them, right? I'm telling you guys right now, once you quit corn and you give yourself no option to bust, no option to spill your seed, unless you actually are with a real woman. This is what I want you to do for the next 30 days. Stop watching this. Stop beating off, right? Make it so that the only way you can get off is if you're with a real woman. And watch how hard you go. All of a sudden, you're not gonna start thinking twice about when you see that pretty girl at the grocery store or at the gym. You're gonna go for it because you're showing yourself, yo, this is the only way I can actually get laid. This is the only way I can get off. No more cheap shortcuts. And this is gonna make you into a more masculine man. I'm telling you right now. Right? So you're gonna be way more masculine, and you're gonna build your social skills. You're gonna build up your skills with actually speaking to women, which is obviously going to help you in the long run and help you attract more women, right? So once you cut this off, instead of doing this, put that energy to good use and use it to approach women. Use it to take nicer pictures, get on the apps, right? I still recommend the apps just because it makes the entire dating process so more seamless, right? I'm not telling you guys to waste hours of every single day going out, doing cold approaches, right? Not recommending that, but you should have as many tools in your toolbox as possible, right? When you're busy, boom, you have the dating app set up, right? Women are literally matching with you, liking you, sending you messages. Cool, right? Now, when you get on a date with them, because you followed my text sequence that I put you guys on to, once you're out there in the real world with them, you know how to actually speak to them because you built up that skill from approaching, right? So those two things go hand in hand. I don't like when dating coaches try to tell you, oh, just cold approach is the best way or just dating apps is the best way. No, you should do both. You should do both, but every man needs to actually be able to know how to speak to a woman properly, know how to hold frame, and know how to escalate that conversation into something that he wants, right? To be intentional with it, right? But you're not gonna learn that skill if you keep doing this, right? And then the last thing that you guys do that is absolutely killing your mindset, repelling all the women in your life, is accepting defeat. A lot of guys just they're like, okay, I'm not tall, I'm not this race, I'm not a billionaire, I'm not this, I'm not that. So let me just accept defeat. The fuck. So let me just accept defeat. Let me just not bother with dating at all. And it goes back to that first point where you're complaining about female nature and you're addicted to porn. And now you have no option but to just accept defeat. Bro, do you really think that's what you were put on this world to do? To just accept defeat? To not put in the work? You were put on this earth with one life. Some of you guys be thinking that you're like a cat, that you have multiple lives. No, you have one life. You have one chance to make it right. And your prime is not as long as you think. Don't wait until you're 50 to try and get the shit together, right? Get it together now. You only have a couple, like maybe 2, 3 decades of prime masculine life, right? Where you can be your most competent masculine self and attract the most women possible that you are actually attracted to, right? Don't just give up on life. I'm telling you right now, relationships is one of the major pillars of life. Don't just give up on it. You wouldn't just give up on your health, would you? I mean, some guys do, right? Some guys, they just throw their life away. They get indulged with vices. They get indulged with fast food. They just let themselves go. So I guess some guys do that. And some guys throw away their wealth. Maybe they had dreams of becoming a millionaire. One business didn't work out. All of a sudden, boom, they're back to working a 9 to 5 and they're like, oh, being rich is not for me. Bro, anything that you want to achieve in this life can be for you. You guys just give up way too soon. Way too soon. The name of the game is not just consistency. Consistency is important. Everyone preaches consistency. But one thing I've really realized in my life is that what's even more important is persistency. How much trauma, how much obstacles, how much shit can you go through and just keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. I used to play Minecraft, right, when I was a kid. And sometimes, if you guys know, but you would mine for diamonds sometimes. And it's you would just mine sometimes for 30 minutes straight. No diamonds, no diamonds, no diamonds. But then eventually, bro, you strike diamonds. But you're trying to turn back when all you had to do was just keep digging a little more. And you would have struck diamonds. You would have struck gold. But you guys give up. One thing doesn't go your way. One girl rejects you. 2 girls reject you, right? You're not getting matches, right? The diet plan is not working like you said it would, like you thought it would. And all of a sudden, boom, you throw all that shit out of the window. if you truly want this shit, if you truly want to be the elite man, you need to have an elite mindset. You need to have an elite mindset. And the elite mindset is just simply accepting the fact that, listen, this shit will not be easy by any means necessary, but you will do whatever it takes. I don't care. For me, with this business, I've failed multiple businesses. I've had multiple ventures in my life. I'm only 24, but I've had multiple failed businesses, right? But the thing is, they only failed because I really stopped doing them. That's why they failed. You only fail once you quit. If you don't quit, you just keep going, right? If an NBA team loses a championship, did they fail? No, they're still in the NBA and they're still the next season. So they can keep going. If they win the next season, they win the finals the next season, boom, all of a sudden they're champions. But if they would have just gave up as a team, they wouldn't be fucking champions. And it's the same thing with you. You must have an elite mindset. You must have a resilient mindset, be willing to go through struggle and adversity, and you must be willing to be persistent. Right? I don't care if it means that you're going to be sleeping under a bridge. I don't care if it means that you have to cold approach 1,000 chicks. I don't care if it means that you have to go and spend a couple thousand on a mentorship to make sure that you get the shit straight. Do what you have to do because that's what the elite man would do. That's what the masculine man would do. He wouldn't take no for an answer. Would you? You want to be like everybody else who took no for an answer, who just accepted, oh, this isn't for me, you know, this life that I always wanted my entire life, this life that I've always felt like I had the potential to have, this body that I've always wanted, dreamed about, this chick that I've always dreamed about. Man, you know, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. That's the worst thing you could do. I'd rather end myself. You feel me? I'd rather end myself than say that bullshit because you might as well. And I'm not condoning that shit, obviously, right? Not trying to get banned on this shit, but when you accept defeat, you're basically doing like real life, you know what I'm saying? Like you're real life offing yourself. Yes, you're still alive, but you're like the living dead. You're walking through life, but you're like the living dead. You're just going through the motions. But if you just keep digging, you don't take no for an answer. You instill a resilient and elite mindset into your life. I'm telling you right now, you will get what it is that you're striving for. You will. And if you want some extra help with this, whether that's getting into the best shape of your life or just simply becoming the man that takes control of his life, masters his habits so he can have a dating life on his terms and do what he must do, then shoot me a DM on Instagram, like I said, right? Click that link in the description. Check me out on Instagram. I post daily value there. This is exactly what I help all of my clients with inside of my one-on-one mentorship, right? But I recommend instead of just booking a call straight from the description, if you guys haven't really seen enough of my content, if you don't know too much about who I am, what I do, shoot me a DM on Instagram. We're going to talk about it, right? I'm going to give you some advice. And if it makes sense, we'll hop on a call and we'll see if it makes sense for us to work together. But I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay elite, stay dangerous.